It's an amazing group of kids. And I come up here every year. This is our 7th year at Grand Island for this trip. And by the time we leave, the kids are like, oh yeah, that was really great. And then you know, along the way they're generating questions, and then some of the time they're answering their own questions.
I learn more outside because I can experience, and I can, when they're teaching it, I can say, oh, I remember when I went camping and that happened and we saw that kind of rock, and I can actually picture it in my head and actually say, I saw that, I remember that, and learn it easier.
Well, I got to see a lot of views. I got to see caves. I got to see, oh my God, when we went on this giant rock on the beach, we looked down, and it was like a good 50, 60 feet up from the water, this huge sandstone. And we were looking down, we were looking in the water, and it looked like there was just this huge giant, like a brick road that a giant would use, but underwater.
My favorite part about the trip was like biking without our packs on, and going and seeing all the beautiful sights, and laying on the beaches.
It was a wonderful week. The biggest thing that I really liked was the fact that we went through a swamp, and it was crazy. Like, people were sinking left and right. It was just like everybody sitting here. People started to cry. Some people, I'm never going camping again. I hate it. I'm never going camping again.
That was my first time mountain biking, and I was really afraid that I knew I was going to fall off the bike with that big heavy backpack on my back. And when you were going up those trails, it was like, it felt like 1,000,000 degrees.
It's hard out here in the sun, especially if you ain't got no sunscreen.
All these bugs!
Just like that, bugs.
Make me crazy!
At first when we go, there's a lot of grumbling. It starts out like, oh, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? But if we were to take them somewhere to like a camp where there's tons of people that go through it, I don't think the impact would be as great. And because Grand Island has so many different terrains and vistas, a lot of different topography, different water features, a lot of kids coast, and making it a little bit harder in that they have to overcome some things, that they can't just quit because you are not leaving until the trip is over, so you might better make the best of it. It gives them an opportunity to see how much they can do.
I learned that I can push myself, and like, you won't be able to go through something without actually going through it. Like, going up those hills, I thought I would never be able to do it. But once I did it, I'm like, I can do it. I can do anything now.
Yeah, apart from all the biking and the sweating and the bugs, I'm glad I came because I tested my physical endurance that I never did before. So if anything happens, I know I'm ready for it. So I liked it.
Well, when you sit in a classroom, you're not doing anything. That's the worst part about it, because you're not doing anything, you just fall asleep.
Interest. We're trying to promote the children's connection to their surroundings, and we want them to be good stewards. And we spend a lot of time doing earth science and all of the different sciences, biology, chemistry, and bringing it back to their own backyard.
I learned more. I could actually see what I was learning instead of just reading about it. So I could actually see how the rocks were formed, how the lakes were closed up, like the Tombolo, how the islands were just connected all of a sudden. So I like learning hands-on.
You actually know what you need to do if you get lost or something, and you learn basically what survival skills you need to know.
I would have loved it if I was younger and somebody would have took me, because, okay, it would have been more the experience. I would have knew how to do more things, but then it's just like, he's young, he hasn't really like took that step in life, so therefore you can help him. I've learned new things through this camping trip, but I think it can help a younger person, younger than me.
Stay on the right path, stay on the usual path. You're gonna end up in a swamp, and the swamp's not fun.
Well, hopefully it'll last them a lifetime. They'll always remember going to camp and, hey, I didn't think I could do that, but I did. The lessons that they learned about always having water, knowing where you're going, trying something new. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So those are life lessons, and hopefully they'll bring their own children camping and have the opportunity to experience that with their children.